Traders, welcome back to the channel. We're going to be going over a penny stock here on the channel for the day. This is a complete unbiased review on this stock as well. I'm going to be going over the charts, a little bit of the fundamentals as well. Now, it's worth mentioning I own a 0% equity in this company. I have a zero stock. I have no underlying interest in this company. I am literally giving you an unbiased review of how I see them moving and how I see them potentially playing out over the coming months. So let's not waste any more time. Like, subscribe, do what you got to do. Let's get to it.
I got no drip in my pocket. Must have forgot it, or maybe
Okay, so this link will actually be down below if you want to check it out. This is really going to go over kind of some of the selling points, sticking points there. I'm going to cover this very quickly, go to the chart because the chart's pretty definitive in my opinion on where we see this going. Also, too, a lot of the sentiment behind these mobile apps is going to be pretty big right now as well. So as I was looking at this company, the thing that interests me was that they were a social language learning app. Now, they're not super huge. However, they're going to very much flaunt to the growth of the gains and downloads in these stores, right? They're going to throw almost 400,000 downloads since App was launched 8 months ago. Now, it's hard to depict how accurate some of these numbers are, how inflated they are, some of their views as well, but it's showing that it's a solid product and it's actually there. So looking at the product, it's definitely there. Now, this is just one of their many products that they're working on. What does scare me is that they're working on going into areas that they might not work well in. Now, the question is how much do they spend there and how much could this put them under? However, it could turn out to be well. Something like Tinder, PayPal, paid subscription, and monetizing that would most likely work pretty well. Some of these others, that's not really the big part in my opinion. Then you have their WinQuick. WinQuick, this is another focal point of the company. And this is to reiterate what this company is they're basically just an app company. They just develop and then end up buying other applications that they see for their business model. That's what they do. They're not one specific company like Tinder, Match.com, something like that. They'll own something like Tinder. They'll own something like Fruit Ninja, various apps that all thrive together. That's their game plan. WinQuick has done very well. A very comparable stock to this is going to be Zynga. You've probably seen them. They were really big on Facebook a few years ago. They ran from being a really cheap penny stock to almost worth $12 this past year. So you're definitely seeing growth in the whole sector as a whole. That's good. Now, what I want to do is go over the chart. The ticker symbol is CLIS, and you're going to go to the OTC. So you're not going to be able to get this on Robinhood or anything like that. All these OTC plays. Now, looking at this, where I'm looking at it, if I'm looking, I want more of a dip. You know me, I'm extremely conservative. I'm always looking for huge dips. Now, I don't know if this thing drops below a cent. Very unlikely that it drops below that 1 cent marker. However, if it starts hitting that 2 to 1 cent range, 1.5, that's where I like it. And I think there is overall growth. But the thing that I really want to reiterate and go over with apps, because I think this is such a dangerous sector right now to be trading. Now, I want to go over something like Pinterest. You saw Pinterest have a huge downturn. Got just slaughtered. Earnings haven't been that bad. You can actually see their earnings are doing incredible, but the outlook and the overall growth is slowing down these apps. Something like Snapchat, huge downturn. Growth and outlook are going to be what really drives the stock to increase in valuation. And right now, all these apps kind of are getting killed. So I do want that to be a focal point, that you could possibly see another major drop on this penny stock. So there's no reason to rush into it. I always recommend people read and do the research for yourself before pushing in. But looking at the chart, in my opinion, there's clear downside. So right now, obviously not a buying opportunity for me. However, I do like them in the long term. And something I do like here as well is that you're not just seeing clear drops. You're respecting the support, you're breaking down below, respecting the next one, breaking down below. So you are respecting those supports. So you're not just getting free fall straight to the downside or any type of manipulated movement in that sense. So you have to like that. But again, if I'm looking, I want this 2 cents is going to be my top, the bare minimum for me to want to even get into it. And then below that down to the 1 cent marker as well. I do like them, but let's just do a really quick review. All right, so looking at Clickstream, I do think there is room for growth. I do think this has potential to potentially double over the next few months. However, I think there's a lot of risk when you're taking a look at these penny stocks, specifically in the sector that did so well during COVID. That's not to say that they won't run, that there's not more growth there. It's that growth is shifting. And when growth starts to shift to a negative side of the overall monstrous year that you just had, it's not that great of a time to buy on the immediate dip. You might want to wait until the market levels off as a whole. The market's also at all-time highs, so you don't want to be pushing into these really cheap plays as well right now either. You're opening yourself up to a lot of risk, and ultimately here on the channel, the goal is to reduce the risk to nil. That's always the game plan when I'm looking at any stock that I'm potentially looking to invest in. Like, subscribe, you just got to do. More videos coming out soon. Remember, boys, we run the market.
But I'm about to take off like a rocket. Houston, we might have a problem, but that don't mean